Hi, this is Kelsey Blackwell with Natural Foods Merchandiser Magazine, and I'm here with Ashley Koff, registered dietitian and founder of Ashley Koff Approved.
Yes, thank you.
So tell me, you've been looking at the acai category lately. Why is this drawing your interest? It seems like acai was so big so long ago, so why is it back on your radar?
Yeah, and you know, when it first came out, I originally met like one of the founding companies, and I was like, I like the product. This is extremely rich in antioxidants. I knew about its history from Brazil. It had omega fatty acids in there, very much like an olive in the way that it gives us fat and is healthy. So I loved it, and I sort of just said to people, you know, you can use it in the powdered form, you can have it in the frozen form, and then some of the juices started in. And I kind of left it at that part and wasn't thinking about it that much. And then in recent, I've been traveling to the source of, you know, into Brazil and Costa Rica, and again, seeing how the natives were consuming it and talking about it. But it got me thinking, especially as there was a lot of criticism about acai that came out. You know, there was the whole issue with one of the large media moguls and her whole question mark of products being marketed as like the weight loss go-to. You know, if you just take an acai, pop a pill, and this is, you know, going to shed pounds.
Right.
Or, you know, in the space of a lot of Me Too products coming on the market. So I really had some questions about it. And for me, for Ashley Koff Approved, in order for something to be approved, I go back and I look at all of the ingredients and want to make sure that I understand. I want somebody to be consuming food as close to its whole form found in nature. So if you've ever seen an acai berry, which most of us in the US have not seen, right? It's actually not a berry that we would pop in our mouth. It's a berry that's got a thick, thick seed in there. So it actually has a very thin amount of what we'll call nutrition or nutrient value around it, and then it has the skin. And so with that, it's not like other juices where we're squeezing it and getting the sugar and it's coming that way. What that means is that actually in order to get a true acai product, you actually have to have lots of the berries, and that's what they do in Brazil. Is they process those berries, they shred off the edges, and they make kind of like a thick, soupy acai bowl, right? It's actually delicious. I know it's sounding like not that,
right.
But what's interesting about it is you're actually getting a significant fat content. The fat is coming from omega fatty acids, not just omega-3, but omega-6, omega-9. Again, I use that reference of an olive because that's what we're more familiar to. Yeah, so I think a lot of people will compare acai to, like, say, a blueberry, right? But actually a blueberry has zero fat in it. It's got more sugar in it. It still has the fiber of the skin. So I think the comparison to the olive is, and maybe even to an avocado as a fruit, is a little bit more of a good comparison, except for it doesn't have that much thick flesh.
Right.
So anyway, all of this was happening, and I started to look at products, and I started to realize that a lot of these products may say that they're acai juices, but they may not have acai juice in them, or they may have a splash of acai and then have a bunch of other juices, or they might have water that's added in there. And I think rather than, you know, saying that those companies are actually like doing something bad, it's more that it's just not what somebody is going, they're not going to be getting the full health benefit. So I really wanted to investigate and find out what can someone look for if they want to be consuming acai and getting the full nutritional benefits.
Right.
And interestingly, there's none of that information is governed or established here in the US, but in Brazil, I came to find out that actually per 8 ounces of juice, you should be having about 3 grams of fat. So if you look at an acai juice product, you can look and say for 8 ounces, there should be that 3 grams of fat. I have had some people say to me, well, what if the product, couldn't somebody like put the fat in, put a different kind of fat in there? You know, couldn't you put coconut oil in and just have the acai juice? You could, but that would have to show up in the ingredient label. So that's a good way if you're trying to navigate the world and say, you know, am I getting real acai berries? Well, do you have that 3 grams of fat? Yeah. So it's interesting. It's been interesting to discover it and to sort of find those ways that we can navigate and then say this is a good product or this is one I'm at least getting what I expected to be getting.
So just to summarize.
Sure.
To make sure you're getting the best acai juice possible.
Right.
Look at the ingredient deck and make sure there's some fat in there.
Right.
And it needs to be omega-3s, 6s, and 9s.
9s.
So if you just look and see, and there's fat, and what was the ratio?
It's about 3 grams per 8 ounces. And so I think that's really key to look for. And you know, what that allows you to do is just to, it's like a quick look, you know, so we can look at that and say very quickly, okay, I've got what I need in here.
Right. I didn't know about that, so that's great information.
And we always need them, you know, you can have information about what to look for, but if there isn't something quick that you can look for when you're purchasing it, that can be really difficult.
Time-consuming.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Ashley. I appreciate it.
Yep, you bet. Thanks.